I'm going
forward middle, forward high, or whatever, forward.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about forward middle.
Okay.
If I'm here and I'm back, and you say I could do this for place middle,
All right.
then if I'm here and I'm back, I could do this for forward middle. And that's
traveling up and forward.
that's not forward middle.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm
It depends on how
I'm here, so
specific your
if I
lens
do
is.
this, I would say I could do
Exactly,
that's forward middle.
exactly,
I would say that that's forward middle, but I couldn't do this. and be forward
Exactly,
middle.
that's my point. So if I can't do this and be forward middle, why can I do this and be place middle?
And not
All right.
move towards place
And I
high.
can,
Yeah.
I
understand what I'm
understand.
saying?
In other words,
I mean,
you're saying,
I don't have to stay sitting to do forward middle just because I'm sitting. I
Right.
can do this and be forward middle.
That's right. And that's why,
But I can't go from sitting, I mean, if I'm here, this is forward middle. But if I'm here, it's not forward middle.
I agree with you. I agree with you. In terms of you know, we have this notion,
So
how do
if
we
I'm
interpret?
sitting and I wanted to do place middle, I could maybe do something like
Right.
this. But if I come here,
Yeah.
why is that place middle if this isn't forward middle from a
All right, or
It depends on
indeed.
whether you're judging the spatial directions, whether you're coming from the belly button.
No, this is not, no, this is what Ilene is saying, and I agree with her, and this is why I now know that I disagreed with what Ann was saying, that this would, okay, I'm here, and I have my kinesphere, and here is center, and here is forward, and here is up. Okay, I said I'm sitting. Now my next direction symbol, because she, all over my whole book, she kept questioning. I wanted to have the person do this, okay? So I said, the next direction symbol I had was place high. And she said, no, that's place middle. And I kept saying, and I said,
Motion
it
and
doesn't make,
destination.
Right,
it
right.
does
You're
not.
describing motion
She
and
said,
describing
yes,
destination.
now, this symbol is a destination symbol. It is not a motion
Depends on
symbol.
if it's in the support column.
It is not a motion symbol. If you want to make it a motion symbol, then you have to either do a becoming or an arrow inside of it. This, by definition, all of these are destination symbols. I don't read this as where I'm coming from. I read it side middle as where I
Okay.
end up.
All right. But where is the destination?
All right, so
Is
I-
the destination judged from a standing position? Or
From
is
where
it
I
judged?
was.
All right.
And so
So-
this could not be placed middle. It would have to be, it could not. It could not.
I
And
mean,
I
it's not
actually-
just motion and destination, it's also where is the destination judged
Are you
from?
judging
Right.
from belly button across the axis?
No, I'm not
No,
even
it's
talking,
from where
I'm
it
not even
was.
talking about that.
What are you talking
It's like,
about?
what's the initial?
I'm not talking about,
place middle that is established? Is it one that's going to move around?
It's a location of,
right, okay, whether I'm judging from here, or I'm judging from here, or I'm judging from here, when I'm sitting,
Okay.
forward has to go this way.
Right.
If I go like this, it's,
Going.
and none of those are going
but
forward.
see, this is
So the
the
question
Yeah.
is forward, where are the directions judged from? From where you are, in which case when I'm sitting, my cross of axis is now here and
Right.
this is forward? Or is it judged from,
That's the destination
wait, let me
orientation.
finish.
Okay, go on.
Or is it judged from standing? So now, in order to go forward middle, I have to go up to that point.
No, it's judged from where you are, is the way I.
That's my point. So if it's judged from where you are, and I'm sitting here, this cannot be place middle.
If you make that symbol with an arrow in it, well, it wouldn't even work. But this, all of these symbols that we, unless they're modified in some way, are destination symbols in which the cross of axes is in the proximal, not the distal part.
Wait, I need the
Not the
context
other
of that.
axis.
Are you saying this is from Anne?
No, in Anne, if you say that symbol could mean this, then what you're saying is the cross of axes is in the distal part of your kinesphere.
Actually forward and upward from where you were.
Well, exactly, or upward in this upward area.
But it's
if you
not
wanna-
revealing the spatial pull forward high. I think there's a difference in.
Upward.
Yeah. And that.
I would say upward.
Upward.
Upward. What? Okay, I'm
Well,
sitting.
then it's shaped like-
Right.
No, I would say
Yeah, I agree, Tina. That would be an easy way to do that.
You know, to me, it's like, write what you mean. And this is what I see. And this is, to me, this would be.
But but what if don't want you to focus on the fact that I'm sitting or I'm standing? All I want to focus on is the facial intent.
Well, if you do it in the proverbial colloquialism, you'd say stand up.
But that's not what I want to say. I want to
Well,
say.
that's what you are saying. If you say go from place middle to place high, that's stand up.
I'm saying
Up.
upward. I'm not saying stand. I want to say go upward.
But to me, I see direction of progression then.
Right.
Direction
You could do it
progression.
from-
Yes, it could be this.
Direction
Or
of progression would work
it
for
could be
that's
that. It could be, it just so happens that upward could be read as both destination and progression. Because it's the same place.
Progression, destination.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it just so happens in this case, it's the same direction.
Usually is.
But it
Yeah,
could
yeah.
not be read as place middle. What does it say?
Location of cross axes to
Determine direction. Where you are, or fixed, and especially
Right,
in
right,
relationship to
right.
place middle.
Good question.
So, well, that's.
Going but Arlene, from what you just said though, but we already have a way of saying that. I mean, we haven't understood, right? The standard key is where your center of gravity is. And if you want it to be somewhere else, then you just specify where it is.
But that doesn't solve this problem about where's place middle. If you're sitting and you go to, do you go to standing or do you?
That's the thing, and that's something that is totally sidestepped in your move, which is another point of contention that I have, is that the idea of directions has been the bane of my existence in working on this rewrite because they are so complex. And the whole area that has not been explicitly addressed in the Your Move book is how do directions get judged when you're not standing? How do directions get judged when you're sitting on the floor, when you're sitting on a chair, or when you're lying on a filing cabinet? You know, there's sort of, the directions have been explicitly dealt with standing, with gestures, and with body key. But in terms of how to, you know, I've made Anne change some of the readings, the way that she's notated stuff from kneeling.
Right.
And progression from sitting, because it's like, Anne, you're getting into advanced law of notation now. And unless you're going to explicitly provide the theoretical understanding behind that reading, you need to not go there.
That was my problem when I read it through it. That was exactly it.
So I've tried to call that stuff out. And if people get into that, those questions in a certification course, then I deal with that in that context at that time, or I just say we're going to, you know, that's going to be stage 3.
Budget.
You need to pay more money and come back, and then you get back.
We've got just a little more than half an hour, and we haven't done
Okay.
anything from
Anyway.
So let's look at the direction, is that any direction, or is that?
Any direction is that symbol there.
Yeah, any direction, that's what I say too.
So that's inclusive, so the whole family.
Is there anybody that uses that for something else besides any direction?
No? We have unanimity, that's great. Move on.
Well, what about
I
just
want to talk about,
an empty rectangle? Do we want to get into that or not?
we did
About
talk
what?
about that. She mentioned that, well, she said,
An empty rectangle,
well,
no
empty rectangle,
level.
and you
in
said
it.
it has to be in place in the line of gravity, and it can be at any level, is that right?
What
Yeah,
about the
see,
empty
you
rectangle?
start with the most
Right, okay,
general,
that's right.
the most general symbol.
I think we're okay.
That is the way I think of it, that's okay. Yeah.
No, I would have problems based on what my understanding of what.
So that, talking about the vertical line, high, middle, or low,
Any of those vertical lines, I bet you
and this being the vertical ad lib,
saying anywhere on the vertical line.
Okay.
So these refer to
Okay.
this idea of vertical line.
Do you know where I'm talking about, or do I need to look it up if you know already?
So does
What-
everybody
what the-
agree with that, that the empty
Yeah.
symbol means anywhere on the vertical line?
Yes.
In the line of gravity, yeah.
But can it also mean, it does mean that, oh, well, I won't get into it.
So we've got two in our agreement
Isn't
column.
that something amazing?
Can I bring up
But-
a question here in terms of what we use in Robin? Because it's really helpful to have anything in the vertical line. We don't have anything in
Anything
sagittal
this
or
way
anything
and
in
anything.
horizontal.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
we
not
do.
amazing.
Sure.
This is what we talked about.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I think we do.
Oh, but you're talking about dimension as opposed to
I'm talking
only
about dimension.
forward
Yeah.
space.
Right, I mean, what about this? These ones that Carl came up with. Oh, those from a long time ago.
Right.
Right.
Now,
That's
talking
true.
about planes or dimensions?
These are dimensions.
These are dimensions.
That would be dimensions, and
Oh,
then if
right.
you wanted to talk about planes, this would be the vertical plane.
Carl Waltz.
Carl Waltz.
And,
Not sagittal plane and the horizontal plane.
25 years, 30 years ago.
It was 1982. I presented them at the 1982 conference right after Ashley was born. So
I
that's
do
how-
remember.
84, I mean, 84. Do you remember these? So this
Yes,
is very,
I do remember. This
they're-
is
that's a vertical dimension, sagittal dimension, horizontal dimension. Vertical plane, sagittal plane, horizontal plane.
And then, it would be nice if that could also include this, and
A diagonal.
or this and this and this and, you know, those,
Do
I
these
mean,
go on our chart?
I don't think that's all good, but this has been, we've been teaching this in our cert program since 1984. So that's like 20 years.
I do mention them, but I haven't taught them.
You haven't? They're
really
so
like them.
useful.
I tend to
Yeah.
do my little shorthand.
So,
We do
with
the
the V
little-
and the S?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's so
In a box.
English-based, and I
Yes,
don't
it
agree
is.
with that.
I
It's
agree
based
with
in
you. I
English.
totally agree with you.
this should go
I
on
can
the
back to
bulletin
you, it's just
board.
that I haven't.
Yeah.
Just this part of it should go on the bulletin board.
Right.
And
Okay.
then it to be expanded.
Can easily go in the bulletin.
Just
Thank
say,
you.
all right.
Introduce credit Carl and say, you can say
Put the dimensions and the planes on
the dimensions and the
I wish
planes.
somebody
And
would,
Well,
I don't want everything coming from my name, that's fine.
Oh, I'll do it.
Would you
got
write
it.
this
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just even handwrite it, I'll do all the work of making it beautiful.
Yeah, and so for instance,
Don't worry
in
about
our
that.
system, and I know that there's problems with these
Here's
pluses and
me.
minuses that you guys have already talked about, but if we want it to be, in the, say, an icosahedral
Yeah,
plane, we
yeah.
might do that. If we wanted it to be a dodecahedral
Oh,
plane,
add all that,
we might do that.
Well,
That would be good.
And then the cross
Follow
on
that
the,
in what you write up for the bulletin board.
That,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
let's,
yeah.
let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on here,
you
and we'll
do
get
that,
on
and then I might,
bulletin board.
okay, oh, bless you. That's bad.
Okay,
And just
the next
handwrite
thing
it, and
is
I'll do it
support.
on the writer.
Next thing on our chart is support.
But
Are we talking about what
Where are
would
we,
we read
which
for that?
symbol?
Do something ending in a new support is what I teach for that.
Exactly, weight transfer.
Weight transference, yeah.
Take it.
Yes, a movement that ends in a new support, a weight i.e. is weight transfer.
But there's also different ways of writing it.
All right, wait a minute. First, one thing at a time. So first, for this symbol, we have support and weight transference.
Unspecified weight transfer.
Anything
And-
else?
and
Vic?
Well, I said a movement, I agree with Charlotte, a movement that ends in a new support.
Right.
Yes.
Or an action that results in a new support, the same thing, but,
Right.
yeah.
Because when I see just support, I could see just the
Support
support
is
part of
just
it
the-
without
yeah.
without the action stroke.
Without the
Right.
action stroke, yeah.
I think we all.
Well, yeah,
Right,
That's just the
yes, right.
support though.
and then,
Yeah, that would be just the support.
and then, in
So I
other
don't
words,
think that support is, yeah.
Okay, so,
when Jackie said it could be written another way, so you could do an action stroke that results in,
wait a minute, Charlotte. Hold on, please. So we all in our agreement that this is a weight, unspecified weight transference or a movement that ends in a or a movement or an action that ends in a new support.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, then, wait a second, then we said just for support, it's just the support bow.
Right.
And we seem to be in agreement on that
Isn't she
too.
awesome?
Yeah.
Is this awesome or what?
Is this what, Jackie?
Now, for the idea of, is it the idea of support, Jackie, or the idea of a weight transference that you're using a different symbol?
What were you saying?
Both, because of what we.
Put it up
Write
on
it
the
on
board.
the board. Yeah.
Doesn't matter which one of these two. Of course, it can go on either side, and we often do it this way. And you can also flip-flop that so that you would have the strokes here down or up. They just are multi-jointed. Yes.
Okay.
And
And
that-
they have
they have
different
distinctions.
interpretation of
They
those.
do.
Yeah.
Stepping, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do those have different distinctions for you?
Also, I use as support.
But do they have specific
No,
distinctions
these
of
do
support
not have
though?
any different, from that, or from these two, they have no distinctions whatsoever.
Are you using that for support or using that for the weight transfer?
Both.
She's saying that the one that is here is the same thing as either of those two things.
Because I can also clarify over here
No,
that,
she's saying that no, Jackie, this is what I'm trying to ask.
yeah,
They have the two different symbols for support or weight transference.
right,
But you're using those symbols for both of them.
yes,
Those mean
Okay.
the same exact
So-
thing.
yes.
They don't have any other specified meaning.
We may come up with some as we go along here, but now as
I
far as
thought that one on the left there, that
Yeah.
one,
Right, step-
is stepping. That's what I think it is.
Well, that-
Stepping on a
what-
Stepping
program,
changes
Wait a
support.
minute.
from an adjacent part.
Stepping from an adjacent.
From adjacent, not stepping, a change of support.
change of
A weight transference on, this is what is in your move. The one on the right means, to my mind, a step, which is a kind of weight transference.
right,
A step on the feet, that is.
yes,
Okay, on the one on the right. Whereas this one means I can do, this is a weight transference. You know, this is a weight
because I've
All right,
used them both.
wait, I'm not with you. Which symbol are you looking at right
This,
now?
no, put your hand on that one, okay. That means any kind of weight transference. A step,
Mhm.
a change to this, a change to my knees, a change, any kind of change, a movement that ends up on supporting a new body part.
Mhm.
The next one, I never use it, but it has something that, you tell me, Tina, if I'm right, that in your move, that is a weight transference from non-adjacent parts. In other words, for my feet.
Stripping is what you just wrote.
Right. This one, the next one, is a step. I think it's a step on both feet.
That gets into that.
This is
Stuff
a
that we were
step on
doing
both,
with,
this is a step on
Oh,
both feet.
that,
This is stepping on both feet.
Well, we also have, yes, that's true.
As opposed to stepping on the right foot, the left foot, or
Yeah.
either foot.
Right. But that was an either, because we were also looking at that as a support, which could also be a step, which could, and usually is often used for me as
Right.
stepping either on the left or right foot, and it didn't matter what way this is going.
And so that's different then
Yes,
from that.
yes. So that's one of
Right.
the differences.
So these have to, the ones on the far right have to do with the feet. The one on the middle one has to do with a type of weight any type of weight transference as long as it's from an extremity. And then she uses a turn sign like you're rolling. Let's say you're on your back.
Get your stuff up there.
Where?
Rolling.
There you go. Oh,
So what's the
no,
difference
she puts
between?
the Annie this way in the old one.
oh, you know, this is all it's using, I'm wondering. I don't
Because
know.
that is the one that either
Stuff is making
means
me crazy.
either body part as opposed, this is any, so
Say that again?
I know why you did the one with the either underneath, and it's logical to me.
Okay, I'm confused, but this is confusing me.
Okay.
The distinction between this
Could
and
you
this
move a
and
little
no.
to your, yeah.
Okay. The one on the left means either, let's say you have two things, my arms. I have two arms, either my left arm or my right arm. Now I have another need to be able to say, move arm. Do something about arm movement. Do arm movement. It could be one arm, your left arm, your right arm, both arms, but it's arm movement. In other words, either or both arms.
So this is either or both.
That's right, and it came from the Knust
Uh-huh.
sign for any number of people.
What's either or both? The thing in the circle or
The thing in the
either and
circle, it's
circle?
any sign.
So take away that other thing.
It's the arm symbol.
No.
It's the arm
No,
symbol.
no, no.
That other thing.
Yeah.
That one.
Right. And then, right.
But I don't understand what
I
that
am
has
not
to
sure
do
about
with what
this
we're
now.
doing now.
Because the idea of stepping on either foot, do you want to put the either sign before, or do you want to put it on top, the way the one on the right with it on top is the way it is? I don't know if it's in your move or it's in one of the bulletin stats. I'll look it up.
This is something that we're trying to clean up in the new edition, Charlotte. I think
Okay.
that whichever it is, it needs to be consistent with what we do with scattering and gathering, because it's the same kind of
Or
logic.
body parts. Or what you just did.
Yeah.
Or any of them. That's
So,
right.
so I think that, I think we need to look at all of those things in a chart and make sure that there's consistency
I
across the
agree.
board in how they're done.
Absolutely.
Because right now, I'm just like, I can't remember what.
No.
I need a cheat sheet. I keep forgetting.
I know.
what we saw.
This has changed so much. Oh, and they have one other thing that she did this in one of the bulletin stats for both.
Yeah, no,
Add
just forget that.
All right, let
Can
me
you go
just,
back to
let
these
me just go
really
back to
basic
where,
ones?
just let me review
Okay.
just a second what I've got up here. This symbol, we were all pretty much in agreement that it was unspecified weight transference, any kind to any body part, or a movement or an action that ends in a new support.
Right,
This one just meant support.
right.
For support, some people are using this, this, or this. Because Jackie's using these and we're using that.
Okay, right.
For weight transference, we've got this one,
Right.
or these two that Jackie are using.
And they can be separated too, but it designate right or left.
And for this symbol, some people think it means step or walk extremity to extremity. Some people mean it means just support in general, and some weight transference, and that's the same some person.
Right. Is there,
And for this one too, some of us view this as stepping or walking on the feet, or support or weight transference.
is there significance about the fact in the different symbols, same meaning, that the middle signs have the support bow drawn slightly
No,
differently?
that was just mine trying to keep up with everybody and write quick and not thinking.
Okay.
I mean,
I can fix that if you prefer. Does it matter?
no, not in the least.
One thing that I tried to do in talking about stepping or walking from extremity to extremity was to put quotes around step and walk.
Right.
As a way to distinguish that it's not on the feet.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because we just use pre-signs to designate it would be hands that you're working on.
Right, when you
Yeah.
want to be specific,
Right.
that would be the next
Yeah.
level of
Right.
information. Yeah.
But for example,
Absolutely.
this could be
Okay.
walking on your hands. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, and I have one more. This one, does everybody use that for a rolling?
Yes.
All right.
I have problems with it, but I wouldn't misinterpret it, but. Should I say why
So,
not?
I mean,
No, I would
look
say
at.
Yeah.
Because we have same concept, different symbols, we have same symbol, different meanings.
Yes.
It kind of crosses.
You have support here for
for this?
Yes,
Just
there.
basic support?
Yes,
Yes.
there,
Yes.
right there.
Jackie.
I would
Just
say,
like this, yeah.
I would say with the rolling thing, the thing is that you can go, let's say I'm on my back, and now I change my support to my side. It's true that I do that by turning, but I may not, but that is not what I want to communicate. I'm just on my back, and now I change my support to my side. So as a subset of this, I see a problem because it implies that in order to do adjacent parts, somehow that turning is always going to be a part of it. Where I would rather say,
Go right over there.
I don't see how I would
But I think it's
do
the
it.
other direction, Charlotte. I
What?
think that what we're saying right now is when we see this symbol,
Right,
it's a rolling of adjacent body part to adjacent body part. That doesn't mean there aren't other symbols that can give us similar meaning and
Right.
similar movement. We're just saying that when we see this symbol, this is what that symbol means for us.
Right, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not ruling out that there's other ways you could write the same kind of
okay,
thing.
okay. Good.
So that symbol, for instance, would be one of the major themes in contact and propagation. Stylistic characters, contact and propagation. No, yes? Okay.
Could be, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think too that, I mean, really the first introduction of this is sort of an action with these signs. So I think if you did, that it wouldn't necessarily, I would question, does it always necessarily have to be the rotation sign? I wouldn't say so. I mean, I
That's
think
a
if
sliding support, when I see that.
Sliding.
Sliding support.
Yeah,
And
it
so
could be
rolling
this.
is a specific example of a sliding support in my mind.
It could be
In a
this.
way, yeah.
That's true, like sliding, that's true. It's changing from one, it's the problem of trying to say, change support on an adjacent body parts without specifying which body part. Wait, I know how to do it.
Does everybody agree that that's a sliding support?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, movement.
I'm just gonna tap it down and keep them all together.
Yeah, there's no way
That,
of saying it that I can think of Jason.
draft publication I gave to you last time I was here.
Here, it's right here.
Is it
What are
besides
you
the
saying, that it
dense
doesn't have to be
notation,
adjacent?
the red book,
What I'm saying is,
more lower
while that does
to
say
to your left,
adjacent,
and a small binding thing?
because it implies
No,
rolling.
it was a book. It was a pre-publication.
So if you sort of flip from your back to your side.
If you're just
Oh,
going
roll.
from your back to your side and you don't want to have the intent of roll of
Or your
turning,
back, yeah, right.
you just want to transfer your support from your back to your side, that you don't.
Yeah, but then you have back support on your side.
Yeah, but what if you just want to say, but this symbol does not imply what body parts you're.
No.
But what I'm saying is, what I was, though Eileen's going to stop me because it's not part of the conversation, to have a way of saying, go from one, transfer your weight from one body part to an adjacent body part without implying the concept of turn and without specifying a body part. And there really isn't a way of doing that.
Well, as a concept, no, but you can say.
You can
support
write
on
this.
this part, support on that part. support
No,
on
but
this part,
that's not adjacent then. That could
Well,
mean,
depends on which part you support on.
I could be doing this. See, this says adjacent.